This is Access Ann Arbor.
Hi, I'm Barbara Petoskey, here with Karen Johnson, Elizabeth Nelson, and Jennifer Hannibal to talk about the Ann Arbor branch of AAUW. Our branch is part of a national organization that started back in 1881 when 17 female graduates of 8 colleges came together to discuss the needs of educated women. From the beginning, members have worked to promote education and equity, starting with their first research report in 1885 that disputed the widespread notion that a college education was bad for women's health. Members went on to support the first federal pay equity legislation in 1905 and helped to fund the research of the future Nobel laureate, Marie Curie. Since then, AAUW has worked against sex discrimination and sexual harassment throughout society, promoted education for women and girls, and lobbied for important legislation ranging from the Family Medical Leave Act to the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Restoration Act. Today, AAUW has more than 170,000 members and supporters, female and male, in more than 1,000 local branches across the country, including the Ann Arbor branch, which was founded in 1902. Here in Ann Arbor, we have a special connection with AAUW, counted in more than just years. When those early members decided to give graduate scholarships to help other women pursue their academic goals, the very first scholar they selected back in 1888 came to study at the University of Michigan. She received $350. Last year, AAUW awarded more than $4.3 million in fellowships and grants to 278 women. AAUW fellows continue to study at U of M and Eastern Michigan University. Our branch, about 300 members strong, has itself endowed 4 fellowships, and we're enthusiastically working on our 5th, thanks to money raised at our used book sale. In addition to 33 smaller interest groups, our branch also has monthly branch meetings that are open to the public. Karen, what branch meetings are planned for the next few months?
Well, as you can see on our small sign here, we've got branch meetings planned for November and then January through April. Branch meetings are held on the 3rd Tuesday of every month at Cleary College University up on Plymouth Road. The November branch meeting will be held at 7:30 in the evening with a social time just preceding, starting at 7. Dr. Elizabeth Armstrong will be talking about her book, The Paying for the Party, Higher Education and Social Inequity. She will be talking about the ways that why many people leave college and don't seem to have much to show for it and how to get around that. In January, we're going to be talking, we have Michael Gebhard talking about fracking and talking about the techniques, what it means, and what is happening here in Washington County. That meeting is going to be held at 2:30 in the afternoon so that we can avoid the icy roads in the evening. The February meeting is also going to be held at 2:30 in the afternoon, and we're going to have Tamara Gormley talking about breast cancer, what's new, what kind of treatments there are, what kind of research is happening. In March, we go back to evening meetings, 7:30 at night. We're going to have 2 speakers, Jane White, who's the founder and director of the Michigan Human Trafficking Task, and we're going to have Jennifer Fatma, who is executive director of SAFE. They'll be talking about human trafficking and putting the spin on to what is happening here in Michigan. And our final branch meeting will be in April at 7:30 again at night. It's the curatorial eye, and we have Ann Rubin, an artist and director of the Washtenaw Community College Art Gallery. We'll be talking about emerging artists. We now have a brief slide presentation to recap, and all of these branch meetings are also mentioned again if you want more detail on our website.
Each summer, our branch collects lightly used books from the community and sells them to raise funds for scholarships. Elizabeth is a former book sale co-chair. Elizabeth, what kind of books are best for the sale, and what happens to them after they're donated?
Newer, good quality books are what we really, really appreciate for our sale. There are very few things we don't take. We don't take textbooks or magazines or encyclopedias or library discards. But our sale includes all topics and all kinds. We have dozens of categories, so that our donation site, or I should say our sorting site, where we receive these books is usually a property that's been donated by a landlord in town that has generously offered us use of it for just a couple of months in the summer. And on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 10 to 2, our volunteers are in this space receiving the books that the residents of Ann Arbor can offer us for our sale. And our volunteers sort these books. We clean them. We sort them by topic, so that ultimately the sale in September is extremely well organized and our shoppers can find virtually anything they might be interested in. The sale happens every year the weekend after Labor Day, which this year in 2014, or next year in 2014, will be September 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that's a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And it always takes place at Washtenaw Community College in the Morris Lawrence building. This past year, the 2013 sale generated $22,000 that were used for scholarships for women. And about half of that went to the national organization, and half of it went towards scholarships locally for students to attend EMU, WCC, and U of M.
And those donations are tax deductible too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we encourage anybody who has books to donate to definitely bring them to us, because they're going to such a good cause, and also to shop our sale, because our sale is absolutely fabulous. We have children's books, fiction, nonfiction, cookbooks, mysteries, everything that you could possibly think of. And like I said, our volunteers spend a lot of time organizing these books, so it's a really pleasant shopping experience. You can really look for specific things that you're interested in.
And at bargain prices.
Absolutely.
A fraction of retail. And the book sale proceeds support women like Jenny, a former AAUW fellow. Jenny, what was your field of study, and what impact did the AAUW fellowship have for you?
The Career Development Grant funded the first year of my master's degree, which was in library and information science. And I earned my degree from University of Washington in Seattle, and I focused on public librarianship and school libraries. And the grant allowed me to take a full course load my first year, focus really intensely on school, and also focus on taking care of my family, which was hugely important to me. The process for getting the grant was also really beneficial to me, because the grant application asked me to outline every course I plan to take every quarter of every year of my entire degree program, and to talk about how each course would benefit my future career. So it really helped me formalize what were my skills and experiences, and where were the gaps in knowledge that I could then fill with specific coursework. So it was very helpful. once I received the grant from AAUW, I reached out to the local branch in Seattle to thank the members for their generosity. And I attended a meeting, and then I ended up joining the local branch. The women were so welcoming and engaging and enthusiastic about my career path. And the women were of such a diverse variety of backgrounds and experiences. There were pharmacists, artists, writers, professors, musicians, and I found that to be true in Ann Arbor as well. Once I moved here, I joined the Ann Arbor branch. Women are very engaged in their communities. The speakers every month are very interesting. Conversations are always fabulous. The food is good too. And when I come to the monthly meetings, I meet new people and I visit with old friends. And being a member is really important to me as a woman and as a community member because I'm engaged with and educated about issues that are local, national, and international in scope, and specifically ones related to women and education and equity. And I'm so grateful to all the members of AAUW for their generosity in supporting education of women.
Well, we're very glad that you found us, Jenny.
Thanks.
And now we have a PowerPoint presentation about the book sale. Joining me now are Mary Mostagim, Rosalie Karunas, and Siham Kuba. Mary is a former branch president who's been deeply involved in a conference known by the acronym NICWISL. This is an annual event that helps to train student leaders. Mary, who participates in NICWISL and how do they benefit?
The NICWISL conference is a 3-day leadership conference designed to inspire and empower young college women for positions in leadership in the community and in the college. So most of the participants are undergraduate women from freshmen through seniors, although there are some grad students too. They're of all ages and they come from all over the country.
Mm-hmm. And what do they learn from the conference?
Well, the conference is really designed to empower them as leaders. They have several keynote speakers that are amazing women who have interesting stories but are so famous that the girls are already looking forward to talking to that woman. And those women are available to them after their speeches. And then they have a whole range of workshops, more than they can possibly all get to see. And they always talk about how transforming these workshops are. And then they meet girls from all over the country. They're also staying in dorms with these girls. And they are networking and learning about girls who are interested in what they are interested in, that have different views and so forth. So it's a wonderful, exciting experience for the girls. And they all talk about being transformed by that.
And how does AAUW support them in this?
It's really important. What AAUW Ann Arbor does is let the colleges, our partner colleges, know when should the girls be applying, how should they apply, and how should they get the scholarships. We've been so fortunate. Almost every one of our girls that applies to and registers gets the scholarship to go. And then the problem is, what about transportation? That's not part of the scholarship. And that's where AAUW Ann Arbor really steps up and sponsors their travel to and from Washington, D.C. Or that it's really from the University of Maryland, but they also get to see some of Washington, D.C. in the process.
Okay.
So now there's a little PowerPoint to tell you a little bit more about Nick Whistle.
Rosalie has been the AAUW chair of a program for 6th graders called Brains Rule. What do the kids get out of Brains Rule, and how does AAUW help with this project?
Thank you for your question, Barbara. People who are familiar with the University of Michigan campus may have been in the ballroom on the 2nd floor of the Michigan League. Imagine for a moment that room crowded with over 200 energetic and chattering middle school students and their chaperones. Excitement is palpable and enthusiasm is high. This is the scene when AAUW joins the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum and the University of Michigan Graduate Program in Neuroscience to sponsor the annual event Brains Rule. It is an interactive and highly engaging experience for the 6th graders from the moment it begins. At Brains Rule last March, the neuroscience professor welcoming the students to the campus captured the attention of all in his opening remarks. He approached the microphone with a baseball bat in his hands. Step by step, he demonstrated the various moves a batter makes in preparation to hit a ball, including adjustments in stance and swing. He described the work of the brain in coordinating the actions of more than 600 muscles, all in the fraction of a second it takes the ball to reach the pitcher's hand, to reach the hitter from the pitcher's hand. This sets a stage for the interactive stations that follow. Students scatter throughout the 2nd floor of the league. With their teachers and parent chaperones, they're divided into small groups of about 10 or 12, and each group is guided by an AAUW volunteer through a series of 9 various stations that are hosted by pairs of the U of M grad students in neuroscience. Hands-on experience is the order of the day. Examples are that in one booth, the 6th graders donned rubber gloves to pick up plastinated human brains, feel their heft, and examine their deep folds. In another booth, they learned how to protect their melon by demonstrating and being reminded to wear their helmets while bicycling. Another demonstration used the theme of deep brain stimulation to teach the students, in quotes, how to become a neurosurgeon in 10 minutes or less.
Oh.
Delicately, they probed into a jello-molded brain to try to hit a tiny transmitter attached to a light. Students had 2 chances, because that's what a neurosurgeon gets. They carefully inspected the first attempt to correct it in the second try. AAUW takes pride in our important sponsorship of this well-organized and popular event, which is one of our STEM projects, that refers to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In addition to providing volunteers, we pay $500 toward the expenses of the day. And in answering your question, Barbara, about what kids get out of Brains Rule and how AAUW helps, I hope I've also given you a hint of what AAUW gets out of the experience. Simply by being in the presence of eager youngsters drinking in the flavor of the university campus and being mentored by patient and dedicated graduate students who explain complicated concepts in a very understandable way.
Oh, it sounds like kids have a lot of fun doing that.
They certainly do. They really do. And now we have a PowerPoint.
Siham is a member of the team preparing another student outreach program called Some Story Fun. What's the goal of this program, Siham?
Well, the program it's all about reading math, and actually the real name of it's Let's Read Math. But this year we decided to change the name to Some Story Fun. It's the idea of that is to give the enticing feeling for the kids and for the parents. And we really concentrate on the children and on the parents, because that's what's important for us. So the program is a serious attempt to build positive attitude with math in both children and parents. And we are very passionate about that. We think American kids need to concentrate more and be interested more in math, because it's the future. So Let's Read Math lessons include engaging activities and that are interactive, hands-on, and fun. So we hope, I mean, that's the goal of the whole thing, is to transform the dread math to the happy, joyful math. So that's what we want the kids to feel. And it's also, we want the children to attack their school math with a positive, can-do attitude. It's not only that, we want the parents also to have the confidence that they can support their children's learning math. That's very important also. And for AAUW, if you ask me about our role, I mean, actually, AAUW started it. And that's on 2004. And I have to read the name here. It's Claire, Dr. Claire Passionton, I think, yeah. She is a member, and she started the program. And she is a very, very passionate doctor. She teaches in university in Virginia, and now I think she's in Philadelphia. And she always, part of her job is to promote and to make this fun and important for the kids. So our AAUW branch, Ann Arbor branch, we sponsor this program each year. So each year, AAUW will have the parents bring the their children to one of, we decide, I mean, where. This year, it's, I think it's in Pittsfield Public Library. So they bring the kids, and they will have AAUW members provide all the books, storybooks, and the activity materials that it's, you know, related to the math. And then, in addition to that, which it's, we are blessed to be in Ann Arbor, because that includes, it's an added benefit of that is the participation of students of University of Michigan, the engineering, I think it's School of Engineering. The students will be also there, and they will be the one who will work with the children and with the parents to interact with activities related to the math and related to the story that we tell. So we have 3 weeks. It will be in February, and we will have 3 books. Each week we'll have 1 book. And we're hoping that we will have this, the kids will be interested and enthusiastic about the math.
The math, yes. And our slide presentation will show you some of the book titles that are used in this program.
Yes.
And now we have a brief presentation that will show you some of the other activities of the Ann Arbor branch and AAUW of Michigan. Through AAUW's branch programs and interest groups, our support for scholarships, and our efforts to get kids excited about science and math, AAUW Ann Arbor continues to live the legacy started by those 17 women more than 130 years ago. To learn more about AAUW, please visit our website or come to a branch meeting. And we hope you'll shop our annual used book sale, held the weekend after Labor Day in the Morris Lawrence Building at Washtenaw Community College. Thank you.